Hey everybody, Peter here with Prime HVAC. I'm back out on a call. I was out on last week with a bad defrost board on a Bryant heat pump, and we had them getting by with using emergency heat and only using the heat pump during the 50-degree weather. But we got this build up here. That's usually a pretty good sign, and I'll put up a picture right now of something the customer sent me back when we initially came out for the call. But just going to go over replacing the defrost board and how we came to that's what was wrong. So I've got the power off. I'm going to go ahead and secure this in some form or fashion also, kind of get it where it's not just hanging out in here. But this is a defrost board, and what I did was disconnected the fan here and turn the unit on, let it run in heat mode. That keeps the fan from running. Coil froze over, it never went into defrost. Usually on these smaller commercial systems, or excuse me, residential systems, we just replace the defrost board and the sensor, just so we know for a fact we're taking care of the problem. But we're going to go ahead and replace this board, and you've got these plug and plays here. It's going to pull off. Pull it by the plug. Do your best not to pull on the wires, because if you pull one of the wires out of the plug, that's a whole nother can of worms. And here's our new board. Always want to make sure it's the same before you install it. You got your part number down here, it matches. All the hookups look the same. And usually on the back of these boards, you'll see something kind of burnt or toasted. I don't see anything. So it's more than likely one of these components that's attached to the board that's out. That's not something we do out in the field, or at least we don't. I don't know anybody that does in our area. And it really doesn't matter, because you're not going to be replacing components on a circuit board. You're just going to replace the board. Alright. And I don't use the clutch on my drill, or whatever you want to call it. I just leave it on this, which is all the torque you can handle with your hand. And then I stop moving the drill when the screw is all the way in, and that goes for any of these, because if you set this and then you use it, you're going to constantly have to push it back and forth in case you get a screw that's too tight. You're going to have to go back to the drill icon, which is just, unlimited torque. And then we're just going to plug these back in where they were on the old one. I encourage you to take a picture if you can't remember, or you're not to a point where you can read a wiring diagram well enough to know what goes where. And then this is our defrost sensor wire. We're going to replace the defrost sensor. Actually, I think it's going to be easier to take this panel off to get to it. So now, kind of see the sensor was clamped on right here. I got it loose. Now we're going to take the wires out. I've got it loose on the inside. So you're either going to have to cut these zip ties loose or pull it through each one. Which I don't think it's going to make it through that one. Alright, it's the old one. Here's the new one. We're going to go ahead and start from up here, push it through. Alright, and then it plugged in to the board. There's a little mark that says DFT there. It's the defrost sensor or coil temperature sensor. Alright, now so the sensor, you know, it's got this little clamp. So we've got to get that around the piece it goes on. There we go. It's on. I'm gonna fish these wires through there. And then we can put this back together. Alright, so we've got the new defrost board in. I've got the fan disconnected. It's making it not run, which means that this coil is going to freeze up rather quickly. And then it'll kick into defrost mode. all set. Went through defrost. Go in and close up with the homeowner and move on to our next call. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you.